I'll definitely take those lessons on there. But that also brings into another good segue. I'm telling you, man, you're just lining these right up for me. What would you consider like the biggest failure you might have had, or a really tough life lesson that maybe you didn't see coming? So tell me about that.
Well, I think my biggest failure is I didn't think big enough. I always, I was kind of restrained by my thought process. I'll never forget. There's a good friend of mine is a Remax owner, and I was like, man, I am going to do 200 transactions in a year. He's like, you'll never do it. No one ever does 200. I said, I am guaranteed of it. He's like, no. So as soon as I hit 200, I closed. This was probably back in 2013. I called him up right away. So I hit it. He's like, what? I got 200. Now I'm going to 3.
Nice.
So we still talk about that. But not thinking big enough. Trying to be a little bit more of a control freak. Think, if you're going to hire people, let them work.
Yeah.
When you got good people around you, let them do things. Don't micromanage. And I've learned some other things. Recently, about 3 months ago, I had a couple stents put in my chest, had a little blockage going. So it gave me a little time to reflect on some things and how I can work smarter. So I got out of the hospital on Wednesday, like I think it was March 5th. So my doctor told me, he's like, you got to stay home for 2 days, and then you can go back to work. I'm like, all right. So I took my laptop and my cell phone, and I scheduled 16 listing appointments in 2 days. I just called everybody now. How you doing? Good. So I'm like, oh. And I kept IM and the girls. I need a listing tag. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing what I do best,
Yeah.
So, think big. Don't get too big too quick. And always remember, there's always someone gunning for you. Like I still go and list. I'm in competition on listing appointments probably 75% of the time.
Yeah.
So it's not going to win every one. And when you don't get one, don't be afraid to ask why you didn't get it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can always improve your game. So, some people, I've called them and say, hey, what was the main reason? They'll tell me whatever it may be, my price, or, some people just don't hit it off.
Yeah.
And I always say, hey, well, thanks for the opportunity. And, I want to try and sell your house even more now to show you, what I can do.
Yeah.
So there are things, time management and being prepared. I mean, they're your key things that you need to really always have together. So if you can manage those 3 items, and then you can be real successful. But they're not easy, because I always tell my agents, you can have a bad call and be all bad out of shape, and then you're going to get $1 million phone call coming up, and that can cost you a lot of money.
Yeah.
So you need to be like a D-back in the NFL. You just got beat on for an 80-yard touchdown. Forget about it. Okay?
Short memory.
Let's take a pass off and go the opposite way now. So it's really important with that.
Exactly. It's kind of how you show up afterwards. It's how you react to that adversity. I think really shows the true measure of somebody, not necessarily, just kind of wallowing in your sorrows, but, taking that time to reflect, adapt, and then maybe even prevent it from ever happening again. When I was a little kid, my pops used to come up to me, even when I was a little guy, like 7 years old, don't give me a problem, give me a solution. And so, here I am trying to solve my own problems at a young age, but it really taught me to solve and go for that solution, because pointing blame, pointing fingers at all these different people, that doesn't help. You're still in the same problem, but if you can get to that part, let's get to the end game first. Let's get to the goal. And once we get to that goal, we're going to be set. So
build that database up. I had a couple agents. We're door knockers too. I mean, again, it's not the best time to do it, but put mail pieces out, door knock, and especially with low inventory, you'll find somebody who's planning on selling their house, and you could pop those houses. So, rentals. I mean, we still do 70 rentals a year. We take renters and convert them in to buyers initially, or when we build them as part of our database. If you work hard for them and you're professional and you got everything done, they're eventually going to buy. So that's building your database. My first year in real estate, I did 23 rentals and 22 sales because no one in the office wanted to do rentals. I'm like, I'll do them.
Mm-hmm.
It's your money.
Well, yeah. Even in the beginning too, like you said, it gives you experience in talking with people. Sometimes we'll have professionals come into our business that might have been in a previous sales position. They might have been in something where they had that human interaction, so that they can communicate fairly well. But I feel like if I could sum up what you just said there, the personal touch that calling somebody, knocking on a door, looking at somebody in the eye versus a text message. And don't get me wrong, there's a time and a place for all types of communication. I think we can agree on that. But more importantly is that personal touch and connecting with people and building those relationships over the course of your career, I'm sure has made you into the man and professional that you are.
Yeah. I mean, I don't call and ask for business.
Mm-hmm.
I just say, hey, how you doing? How's the family? Oh my God, I can't believe you called. We were just thinking about you. I'm like, what? My son's getting married and they're buying a house. I'm like, all right, sure, send them over. We'll do a buyer consult.
Mm-hmm.
Or another call. Hey, oh my God, I can't believe you called. My sister-in-law's getting divorced. She got to sell the house. Okay, it's just a matter of how many people you can. And when they know you eat, sleep, and drink real estate, that whole battle's over. So, like a great tip right now. Hey, your house and your neighborhoods are worth this. Rates are 3%. Why don't you refi? And they start thinking about it, and the next thing you know, you might save someone $300, $400, $500 a month. You don't even